Good morning, everyone. It's a great joy to bring to you again our Hebrews study with One a Day Journey of Faith. Today we get to learn about a young boy named Samuel, and God used him in an incredible way, even though he's just a child. His mom, Hannah, had not been able to have children, and she prayed fervently that God would somehow give her a son and promised that she would dedicate everything she had to helping him live for the Lord, and that if she could just have a child. Well, God heard Hannah's prayers and he answered that prayer of faith that she had. But Hebrews 11 mentions Samuel, the boy. And 1 Samuel 3:1 said, "In those days the word of the Lord was rare. There were not many visions." Samuel was being mentored by an older priest named Eli, who had a hard heart and had not disciplined his sons appropriately. And Samuel was called to deliver the hard news to Eli that his sons would not be used in the lineage of God's priesthood because of their disobedience. Samuel, the little boy, growing up in the presence of the Lord, didn't even know how to hear God's voice, but then he learned to listen and he obeyed, and God used him mightily. God listened to Samuel. God listens to every person who comes to him with a tender heart. He is no respecter of persons. And so today it's a great illustration for each of us as we walk in our journey of faith. One, not to become calloused in the way we think about God and the way we obey him, that we would be people who cultivate a tender heart through prayer and through humility, through listening well and obeying quickly. That's what Samuel did. And God spoke through Samuel. He used him. He became one of the great prophets of Israel. And his mom used mightily because of her faith in prayer. These people who were little known and not much of whom was expected became great in the kingdom of God because they walked by faith. So here's a question. Has your heart become hard? Perhaps it'd be a great time to go to God and say, you know what, God, I've become a little careless. I've become rough around the edges. I need to have restored in me a tender heart. I want to be used, and I want those in my lineage and heritage to be used. And so God, restore in me a tender heart. And it might be to say, who could I pray for? What might I pray for expectantly that God could do some work in my life? And what might I dedicate to the Lord? One of my children, or some business or a situation that might be used mightily beyond my expectations. Hannah and her son Samuel used mightily in their journey of faith, and we can be too. God bless you. I'm Pastor Tim, and this is our One a Day Journey of Faith.